Hello and welcome to Monday Morning Messages from Your Guardian Angel. I am your host, Ros Place, and I'm really excited to be with you today to talk with you about nerves. Do nerves equal danger? Well, they certainly feel like they do very often. When you feel nervous, it can completely take over your body. You get a dry mouth, your heart starts racing, and it's something which can indicate to you a fear which does not exist. I believe that anxiety and nerves and that feeling of adrenaline rush is something that goes right back to when we were living in prehistoric times. You know, when our senses were peaked. You know, there was a saber-toothed tiger that was going to come and get us, and so we had to be ready to really, it's that fight or flight instinct, run away. And sometimes nerves can make you feel like that. And I've been nervous, and sometimes I still get nervous. I don't like the way that it feels, and I've done some work with the angels to really move through that, which I'm excited to share with you. And I've also experienced anxiety. The worst that it was for me was when I had an anxiety attack, and I felt as though there was a boulder on my chest. I could not. Oh, my pearls have just come undone. No, they haven't. They've just gone lower. I felt as though there was a boulder on my chest, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was an absolutely terrifying experience. But it's my experience that anxiety for me is about things which I don't feel I can control. And nerves is about something for me which it tends to be associated with fear. Fear of what other people are going to be thinking of me. Fear of other people's opinion. And crucially, fear of the feeling of, or the insecurity, or the self-confidence limitations which we experience as humans being true. What if they see me and they see my insecurities, they see that I'm nervous, they see that, and this is something which somebody wonderful in a closed group which we have called Udemy with Ros, which you can access through the Udemy course platform. Somebody within that community shared that nerves can often mean that you just really care about something, that it really matters to you. So we're going to be talking about nerves. We're going to be talking about nerves and danger, and whether or not that is a reality, because it's my experience that it affects so many people. People can pretend that they're not nervous. Something I often hear when people pretend that they're not nervous, or when they're telling themselves that they're not nervous, is that they're really excited. It's almost like this kind of programming. I'm so excited about the massive show that I'm going to be doing at Wembley Arena, and you even hear it in like massive celebrities. No one is immune from this. People who are famous, people who are in the public eye, can experience nerves and can experience anxiety in a really crippling and invisible way, and we all try and hide it because nobody likes other people to see that we're inadequate in some way. But I really enjoy an authenticity coming from someone. I think that often I'm listening to the radio and I'll be hearing an interview of some kind, and the people that are really honest about getting nervous, the people that are really honest about the beginning of their career, for example, the people that are really honest and that are in the public eye and share challenges which they have, are so positive because they can encourage us in a massive way. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment because it's a massive area. So last week in the Monday morning messages was talking about role models, and there was wonderful feedback from you guys about this, and it was really exciting to hear from you how you felt about role models. And it appears that role models are individuals who inspire. Some people's role models, it was beautiful, it was like my mum, it was like my grandmother. People's role models were famous people. Some people were a bit uncomfortable about sharing who their role models were, because their role models were people who not everybody liked, and there's nobody that everybody likes. Don't try and be somebody that everybody likes. It's going to be completely impossible to you, and this is something which we'll go into when we talk about nerves and how through my experiences personally and through my work, I've helped people and myself through my own, not just theory talking about things, but my own practical experience of nerves and anxiety, help people to move into territory where they do feel self-assured and where they do feel relaxed and where they do feel confident. But role models was a really fascinating and very, very interesting topic for us to talk about, and I continually move into thinking about what my role model would do in certain situations, how they would behave. My role model, and let's be clear, I have an experience of my role model, a small experience of my role model, and I have created, I suppose, in its fullest extent, a completely inspirational character based on what I think that individual would do, knowing his moral attitude, knowing his ethos to life and to business and to people. But it's something which has been extremely powerful for me, and I think it bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be very often. It's like, right, okay, so this person has done it. This person is functioning in the world in a way which I aspire to function. His success, his contribution to the world and to the planet. He's an example for me of how you can be an amazing individual, focus on people, want to bring about positive change, and be an incredible businessman. That's something which is very inspiring to me. So it's a combination of those things. So I loved hearing from you about role models, and it really does seem as though role models inspire. Role models, values, role models, way they go about doing things in life, really give you a focal point for which you can aim for. So I absolutely love that. So let's talk a little more about nerves and anxiety. So my experience of nerves is that we feel nervous about things. For example, let's give some examples. So when might we feel nervous? We might feel nervous at a job interview, or on the build up to a job interview. We might feel nervous at a first date, or a second date, or a third date. We might feel nervous about, and this is a big one for people, public speaking. So standing in front of a group of people. We might feel nervous about like a big out of our previous experience event. I remember feeling, and this is what I'm like when I'm nervous, and I really don't like it because I feel like everyone knows. I have a dry, sort of sweaty feeling. My palms get very, very sweaty. My heart starts to race. My mouth goes dry. My mind is going crazy. There's no clarity or calmness in there. And the thing which I dislike the most is I feel like my eyes say when I'm nervous. When I'm nervous, my eyes look weird. And I've seen it in other people. It's like something weird happens. Maybe it's because it's happening behind your eyes. It's how you're feeling inside, and I think your eyes are great windows to the way that you're feeling inside. So I had an event, and I really was like a rabbit in the headlights. I had to go and meet an amazing individual, and I stepped into a situation which was very unfamiliar to me, and it was lights, and it was cameras, and it was not my finest moment at all, and I learned a tremendous amount from that experience, because sometimes when you feel nervous about something and then you move into, this is maybe moving more into anxiety, but it's like the real heightened state of nerves, it's because you don't know what to expect and you have nothing to base your experience upon. So it's important in certain situations now that I'm clear, well, in all situations now, but if ever that situation were to present itself again, I would want to know as much as was possible about what was going to be involved in that situation, because I stepped into the unknown. I was totally unprepared. I didn't know what to expect. So that was something which was a big event and really, really helpful to me, because asking questions and being clear is absolutely essential when you're going to be growing into new areas. So this foundation, this experience of feeling nervous and experiencing anxiety is something that through my experience and through helping others with it and through observing people and what goes on and really paying attention, because it's an area of interest to me. Because, you know, I have had an anxiety attack. I have, even now, the other night I had an anxiety dream, and I was really, my heart was racing when I woke up, and it was a dream that I had my luggage stolen. I was actually in Los Angeles, which is quite interesting because I love Los Angeles. I was in Los Angeles, and I had some exquisite luggage, beautiful luggage, and I was doing something that I didn't really want to do. I was in like kind of outside, like wash area, like a kind of bathroom area, and I was getting ready. Maybe I was doing makeup or something like that, and I didn't really feel that I wanted to do it at that moment in time, but I went along and I did it. And that's something I can really relate to from my past, and I still have to keep a check on it now, going along with doing something that I don't really want to do. And then my luggage got stolen. But I've read up on a dream website. Well, I don't know what the dream website was, but I put it into Google, as we all do. What does it mean? And it came back that actually having your luggage stolen is really positive, because it means that you are releasing limiting beliefs. You're letting go of baggage, which I thought was incredible. You can take that. You can take all that luggage, all that baggage. But one thing that I found that's really helped me with nerves, and also with anxiety, has been self-definition. Now, for you guys who are regulars on this channel, you'll know that I talk about self-definition a lot. And what self-definition means is that rather than the whole of the outside world defining you based on your experience of life, and rather than you waiting for the outside world to tell you, in other words, to get the job to tell you that you're enough, or for your date to think that you're incredible to tell you that you're enough. You know, and what was the other example which I used? It's like anxiety and nerves come from, how's it going to be? What are they going to think of me? And also they, without sounding too split personalitied, they is also what goes inside of your head. It's the limiting beliefs. Don't trust what you hear going on inside of here any more than what you hear going on in the outside. And self-definition is I am. It's I am Roz and I am. And knowing my truth, knowing what I am, in a way which enables me to have a foundation and self-confidence and integrity and authenticity, and enables me to relax in a way which is just, this is what I offer. This is who I am, and this is what I offer. And if that's something which you enjoy and appreciate, and you vocalize that to me, then that's going to take me back to my I am. That's all it's ever going to do. And if it's something which you don't agree with, if you express that to me or not, then that's only ever going to take me back to what I know I am. So that you are not vulnerable, and that you're also not dependent upon the opinions of other people, because you know your truth. Nobody knows your truth better than you do. But it's when you don't know your truth that the nerves come about. And knowing your truth through self-definition, through saying I am, and creating a statement I am, is a step which will enable you to be you, but in a way which you are truthfully aware of from the context from which you know yourself currently. And I make that distinction because this isn't about creating affirmations like I am Roz and I am. When you create affirmations, when you reach for affirmations, which are statements which you want to be and you repeat, it's like if I say, you know, I am, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. If I say I am successful, okay, constantly, if I say I'm successful, I'm successful, I'm successful as an affirmation, but I don't believe that I am successful, then there's a gap, isn't there, between what you're wanting to experience and what you are. But if you say, for example, I'm honest, or I'm genuine, or I'm sincere, or I'm loving, then the truth of that statement, which isn't a very important component part of success as it happens, but that's just an accidental kind of bringing together of two different I ams, you're going to reach that place much more quickly. Because it doesn't really matter what your I ams are, it's that they are your truth. So they don't need to relate to success. They don't need to relate to being in a wonderful relationship. They don't need to relate to, oh, my screen's just gone. Oh, here we go. I think it's because I moved. My screen went a little blurry. They don't need to relate to your finances, because if you don't feel connected to those things in the way in which you want to, you're going to be wasting an awful lot of time trying to convince yourself about something which isn't true to you currently. So what I would recommend that you do with regards to when you consider nerves, when you think about nerves, when you think about things which you're anxious about, when you think about the barriers that being nervous and anxious and dry mouth and the things that you do to avoid that, the things that you'll do to avoid looking stupid, feeling like a fool, being criticized, all these things you fear create the nerves and the insecurity. Because nerves are, in my experience, all about what will this person think of me and what will I think of myself. But when you walk in to any situation with I am and a clear awareness of what you are and therefore who you are, you watch what happens to your nerves. They will begin to dissolve. So what I would encourage you to do is to think about your I am, maybe just one. It's a very difficult process to step into. Just what are you? No idea. And that doesn't matter, but it shocks people often. But it shocks them in a wonderful way, because they realise they've got to this point in their lives, which is wonderful, and they have absolutely no clue about what they are. So be encouraged by that if you don't know. And if you do know, enjoy the fact that you have an awareness of self, which you can focus on in an increasing way and grow through. Okay, I'd love you to share any I ams which you know yourself to be. I'd love it if you could share and talk a little bit about anxiety or nerves. I'd love that. It's so growing. It's so encouraging for people to share. Don't you find that when you know that someone else has had an experience like you, that you don't feel alone, that you feel like someone understands you? And when we talk about nerves and anxiety, you're not on your own, and I understand you. And I would love it if this community could support each other by sharing something that will help others to know that they're not on alone. Even if you just say, I get nervous too, or this is what I think about nerves. Because nerves in everyday life are nothing to do with danger. They go back to a prehistoric time when we felt nervous and anxious and had to be prepared to run very, very quickly because there was a saber-toothed tiger after us. The only fear that we feel now is a fear of criticism, a fear of being wounded, a fear of kind of like being hurt in a way which we know is going to take tremendous effort to recover from. But it's my experience that when you know what you are, and when you're clear about what you are and therefore what you offer, then anything that anyone else says, good or bad, can only ever come back to your truth. And really, in my experience, in terms of freedom of experiencing yourself and being yourself in the most positive, highest and most valuable way, should only ever allow anything which anybody else says to go back to your truth, to go back to your I ams. So let's see what the guardian angels, excuse me just one moment, I must make sure that my laptop is off of mail when we are streaming, when we're talking to each other. That's something that I will learn from and ensure doesn't happen again. Bingy bongy. Does your screen make that noise? Does it go boom? Have you got one of those noises on your screen? Let's talk to the guardian angels. All of our guardian angels exist in the same part of the angelic realm. They exist in the hierarchy called angels of the world. They exist there with the higher ranking angels, which are the archangels, and all of our guardian angels all exist together, all in the same part of the angelic realm. And these messages are from the guardian angels. They're from your guardian angel and they're from my guardian angel. And these oracle card messages are such a powerful opportunity for you to receive communication from your guardian angel. I encourage you wholeheartedly to reach out for your own oracle cards and to receive a message from your guardian angel. One of the first things that I do now something that I've done new in a new way, because I'm always looking to do things in an improved way. Being the best that I can be is something which I'm always wanting to develop. So one of the things which I do with guardian angel readings is at the end I'll say, go to your oracle cards now and take a card and receive a message from your guardian angel right now, the first message. And that's something which is really powerful, and it's an incredible way of communicating with your guardian angel. So if you know your guardian angel's name, then you can use your guardian angel's name. If you don't know your guardian angel's name, you can just say guardian angel. Okay, so we'll bring the oracle cards into my heart center. You can bring them into your heart center, and I fill my cards with my oracle card blessing, which blesses the cards, brings my energy into my heart center, and sends positive energy to everybody touched by this reading. And I'm going to ask the guardian angels for their message for us for this week. What is it that they would like to share with us, the guardian angels, with regards to nerves for this week? With regards to conquering nerves, with regards to being calm, with regards to developing self-belief. Okay, and I'm going to shuffle the cards. I like to shuffle the cards in a gentle way. The cards like to be shuffled gently. Sometimes people shuffle cards and it's rough, it's real rough. And you've got to think about the energy that you're putting in. I've said this before in one of my courses, but it's worth saying again. I can remember being told about a woman who, when she was angry, when she was stressed, she would make bread. And I can remember thinking, wow, I don't think I ever want to eat that bread. The energy, the anger that would be in that bread. Anything that you do is influenced by the energy that you intentionally or unintentionally put in. So shuffling your cards. And this is the message from the guardian angels. Oh wow, we got this last week. Let's see if I can put this up in a way that you can see really clearly. So the message is receiving from the angels. Receiving from the angels. So how can I feel more calm? How can I have more self-confidence? How can I feel more empowered? How can I develop that I am self-definition in a way which will mean that I can go about doing things in a relaxed and fun and enjoyable and contented way? The angels say, receive that from us. Talk to us. Talk to your guardian angel. Ask your guardian angel to help you to write your self-definition, even if it's just one word. I am. I am your name, and I am. Okay? The wonderful thing about this as well is that in the center of this card, there's a beautiful golden color. And the golden color relates to success. You're always going to be successful through receiving from the angels. You're always going to be successful through communicating with the angels, through reaching out for the angels. Your guardian angel is the energy of your life purpose. And some people have gold in their guardian angel's aura, which means that they're here to be very specifically successful in a very specific way. So, receiving from the angels. That is a wonderful, wonderful message. Something which I love to teach in the Oracle Card Academy, which is a Udemy course and also a mentorship which I have developed in order to empower and encourage belief in yourself, is really interpreting all of the symbols and the colours through oracle cards and receiving a very personal reading, because it might seem to you that it's obvious that it's that golden core, or it's obvious the thing that stands out to you is the purple wings. It might seem obvious that it's a purple heart. It might seem obvious that the thing that's the most important message in that card is the two women. But those are personal interpretations and observations which can provide you with remarkable, incredible guidance from the angelic realm. And I shall put some links into the Udemy courses for you so you can check those out. I want to thank you for being part of this community, for encouraging me, for helping me to get over my nerves through all of your wonderful words, all of your kindness. You've always been kind to me, and you have made a tremendous difference to me and my growth and my path, and I will always value and appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. I wish you a wonderful week receiving from the angels. I wish you a wonderful week, developing your I am, and noticing how things that you're nervous for can either be stuff you really care about, or that you feel nervous because you are surrendering, opening yourself up to, being vulnerable, if you like. Surrendering's wrong. Vulnerable to the opinions of others and the opinion of this. You decide what you are, you decide who you are, and be that, and watch the transformation occur. I'll see you in the next Monday morning message. Bye bye for now.